Okay, today's lesson is 5.4. It's on histograms. And one of the jobs you'll need to do is make some tally marks. Remember playing games with kids and keeping track of scores? That's a tally mark. All right. What this histogram does for us is it organizes our data numbers into what we would say is ranges. And it looks a little bit like a stem and leaf graph that we have done before, only what we end up having is our stems are here and our leaves go here. All right. Unfortunately, we lose our data values, but we end up being able to see our spread, or our shape, excuse me, our outliers, and we see our centers, and we see the overall spread of the data. Yeah. Context we see as well. All right. It looks like a bar graph that you might have made in years gone by. A couple little tips here as you make these graphs. You should have 6 to 10 what we refer to as a bin or a bar. All right. The way you would find what each of those bars or bins are is you take the range, remember that's the max minus the min, divide by 10. Then you round up that number, and that gives you the width that you need for each bar. We want to choose convenient numbers here, like bins of 2, 5, 10, 20. Those are really convenient bins. All right. I was just going to show you what they look like here. You're going to have the vertical graph is going to be the frequency, and this refers to how many items there are. So then in my first bin, say I've got 2 items. You don't need to fill that in, but you can if you want. In the next bin, you might have 3. In the next bin, you might have 1. In the next bin, there might be none. All right. The trickiest part of this is describing the bars and the bins in the bottom. All right. Here we go. An example. This is dealing with some colleges, some public, some private, and we're looking at the percent of kids that are admitted into each of these colleges. Again, some of them are on the West Coast, some are in the Midwest, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana. Wisconsin is the closest one to us, yes, and looks like there's none out on the East Coast on this list. Oh, South Carolina. There we go. So it's a good spread. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the maximum and the minimum. So let's kind of zoom into here. And we start looking up and down this list. I think you can see that 51 is the smallest and 79 is the largest. All right. And we have 79 twice, but all right. So 71, 51, and 79. Subtracting those two, I get 28. And then I divide that by 10, I get 2.8. So I'm going to take that 2.8 and then round it up, remember, to a convenient interval. I could go to 2, but I think that's actually rounding down. So let me go up to 5. All right, so let's go with a bin or bar width of 5. Again, where do I start? Don't start at 51. That would be an awkward number. I'm going to start with a number below there that's convenient, 50. And we will end with, we'll go up to 80. Actually, our last one will probably be 79, but that will fit the 70. Okay? All right, let's go and start constructing that. First of all, my first bin is going to go from 50, not to 55, and this is where I said it would be kind of tricky, but 54. Remember, from 50 to 54, there are 5. That's a width of 5 items in that list. 50, 51, 52, 54. Okay. Then we go 55 to 59, and then 60 to 64, 65, and so on and so forth. The next thing we're going to do now is take our tally marks now. So I've highlighted all the ones that are in the 50s. And what I'll come over here now is make some tally marks to the right. So I've got a 51, a 53, 54, 53, 54, 55. So it looks like I've got 6 items in my first tally. All right, in my next tally, I got 55 to 59. I got 1, 2, 3. All right. I think 55, 56, and 55. So let me count these up again. I don't know if I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it looks like I've got 9 total so far. So we're doing okay. 61 to 64 looks like I've got 2. And 65 to 69, it looks like I've got 1. That's the 65er there. And then 70 to 74, I've got 1. And then I've got 2 that are 75 to 79. All right, I'll go ahead and make now a bin and a frequency. So I can see that my frequency here runs up to 6. That's the largest. So I'm going to go, that's 6, and then that's 4, and that's 2, and there's 1. All right, and we'll call that freak. All right. Now my bin's down here. This second bin is going to be 60. The middle bin here is obviously going to be 65. So what this means is this space here, yes, is 50 to 54. And this space here is going to be 50. Whoop, made a mistake there. 55. 55 to 59. So it's always going to be one short of the next marker. All right? And I don't like to clutter up the bottom too much, so I'm just going to mark the 70 and then the 80. And now comes the easy part, so to speak. That's the tough part. Got to go up to 6 in my first bin, right? So here I got to go up to 6. So at 6, I'm going to put a horizontal bar, and then I'm going to draw a vertical bar coming straight down. Again, if you want to shade it in, feel free, but you don't need to. The next one will be 3. And again, just do a horizontal bar and then come straight down. 2. And 1. And 1 and 2. Okay. Now we can even ask ourselves, looking at this here, where is the median? What is the shape, right? What are those center SOCCS, the spread and the outliers? First of all, we can see that we go from 50 to 80. So my spread is about 80. In this case, it's 80 percentage points. My low, again, if I'm just looking at the chart, my low is 50, my high is 79. Now we can see back that our low is actually 51, but again, like I said, we lose some of the data items when we look at just the chart. Where is the median of the values? The mean we kind of lose looking over here, but we still can find the median, at least where the median should be located. Notice I have 6 items in this list. I have 3 here. I've got 1, 1, and 2. So if I add those up, I get 7. Yes? And if I have 6 here plus 7 here, that means my median value should be sitting in this chart, in this bin. So somewhere from 55, so the median is somewhere from 55 to 59. The last thing I want to mention about this is that notice the overall shape of my graph. So remember that a normal graph should look like this, and this graph looks like it's shifted to the left, right? So somebody has yanked it to the right, so the phrase that we say is that this is skewed, sorry about that, skewed right. Or in this case, we would say, you could think of it as skewed to the right, up. One final thing, it's important to note that most of the data, yes, most of the data, the mode, most of the data, most of the colleges, I should use context here, yes, most of the colleges accept 50 to 54% of the students. So there's writing it out as a phrase as opposed to just listing out the items. All right. Hopefully that helps you understand how to create a histogram. Again, it organizes your data into ranges, and it looks a little bit like a stem and leaf graph, except it's turned 90 degrees. Good luck in doing your homework problems, and don't forget to show your tally marks when you do your problems.